Some people inherit fortunes. Others build empires from nothing. Andy Byron was born in a cramped apartment in Boston and ended up owning private islands, commanding billion-dollar companies, and influencing world leaders. But behind the polished image is a story of survival, risk, and sacrifice that almost broke him. Stay until the end, because by the time you hear Andy's final lesson, you'll understand why money alone is never the goal. Before we dive in, subscribe now so you don't miss more untold billionaire stories, and comment Empire if you want the step-by-step blueprint of how Andy built his. Andy Byron was born into a working-class family. His father, Tom, worked long hours as a mechanic. His mother, Linda, was a school librarian. Their home was warm with love, but cold with financial strain. They lived paycheck to paycheck, with no safety net. Andy wasn't interested in just selling lemonade. He experimented one day in paper cups, the next in fancy glassware. He noticed people paid more when it looked premium. Without realizing it, he had discovered his first business principle: presentation changes perceived value. At 14, Andy found abandoned bikes around his neighborhood. With borrowed tools from his father, he restored them and sold them at triple the price. He didn't just sell bikes, he sold the story behind them. They don't make them like this anymore. He was learning the power of narrative in sales. Andy earned a scholarship to Boston University, but midway through his second year, his father suffered a heart attack. Medical bills consumed the family's savings. Andy dropped out, working nights at a diner to keep the lights on at home. His dreams were put on hold but not erased. Broke and nearly homeless, Andy realized no one was coming to save him. The next morning, he picked up a cheap flip phone and started cold calling local businesses, offering to make them websites even though he didn't know how to code. He figured he could learn faster than they expected delivery. After 42 rejections, a small law firm said yes. $2,000 felt like a fortune. Andy rented a tiny office above a pizza shop and hired his first contractor, a coder he met online. Within a year, Andy had 12 steady clients. His pitch was simple: if I don't grow your business, you don't pay me. But then came 2008. The global recession wiped out half his income overnight. With only $300 left, friends told him to quit and get a stable job. But Andy knew the safe path would never make him free. Instead of small contracts, Andy made a radical shift. He offered marketing services to startups in exchange for equity. If they failed, he earned nothing. If they won, the upside was limitless. One of those startups hit big. Andy's stake earned him $1.2 million. Overnight, he was a millionaire, but he told almost no one. Quiet money grows faster. Information to a rival. The betrayal cut deeper than the financial hit. Andy cleaned house. In a single week, he removed 5 high-ranking figures. His rule was simple: trust takes years to earn, seconds to lose. In the middle of chaos, Andy saw an opening: distressed urban real estate. While others ran, he bought at pennies on the dollar. Those properties would later triple in value. But the recovery wasn't instant. One of his key companies came within 48 hours of defaulting on a massive loan. Andy personally negotiated with the bank, leveraging his entire reputation to buy time. To rebuild momentum, Andy targeted Southeast Asia's booming logistics market. His deal in Singapore would become the cornerstone of his comeback. Even in crisis, his discipline didn't waver. While competitors scrambled, Andy executed a strict routine that kept him mentally unshakable. An unexpected partnership emerged. An old college acquaintance, now leading a tech unicorn, proposed a joint venture. This alliance would accelerate Andy's entry into AI-powered supply chain systems. For the first time in years, Andy allowed selective media coverage, not for vanity, but to control the narrative and attract top-tier talent during the rebuild. Andy began executing what insiders called ghost deals, silent acquisitions through shell companies, preventing competitors from noticing until it was too late. Within 4 years of the downturn, Andy's net worth doubled. The billionaire was back, stronger, leaner, and more dangerous in business than ever. But success came with temptations: extravagant parties, endless travel, circles of people chasing status. Andy began to question which of these relationships were real. His longtime mentor and silent advisor passed away unexpectedly. The loss shook Andy deeply. It was the man who had given him his first major business insight. For the first time, Andy stepped away from the spotlight. He traveled without media, lived simply, and reevaluated his next decade's mission. He returned with a bold vision: create a unified digital trade platform connecting small businesses globally, bypassing traditional middlemen. The idea was revolutionary, but it threatened entrenched interests. Lobbyists fought back, regulations stalled progress. Andy found himself in political battles as fierce as any corporate takeover. After 3 years of legal and technical battles, the platform went live, instantly onboarding over 100,000 small businesses in its first month. From a cramped Boston apartment to reshaping global commerce, Andy Byron's journey defied the odds. His legacy wasn't the billions, but the millions of lives connected through the systems he built. Andy Byron's story proves one thing: success isn't about where you start. It's about how far you're willing to go when the world pushes back. If this journey lit a fire in you, don't let it fade. He bought a modest penthouse and invested 80% of his windfall into new ventures. His friends thought he was crazy. He knew he was compounding. Andy founded Byron Capital, targeting undervalued tech and distressed real estate. He studied market cycles like a surgeon studies anatomy. The $5 million investment failed. Andy called it tuition. He tightened his filters and became ruthless about saying no. By 35, Byron Capital operated in 3 continents. Andy adapted his negotiation style for each culture, knowing when to speak and when silence was the most powerful move. He acquired a failing logistics company rich in patents. 2 years later, it was a global leader. His net worth passed $1 billion. Now, Andy had jets, yachts, and properties on 4 continents. But every hour was calculated. The higher the climb, the tighter the schedule. 4:45 a.m., gym. 5:30, meditation. 6 o'clock, global market review. No emails until 8. His belief: thoughtful. The morning is where wealth is made. He planned deals like chess matches, setting traps 3 moves ahead. Andy funded schools, incubators, disaster relief, but he refused publicity. Emphatic: charity isn't PR, he said. It's responsibility. 14-hour days, no weekends, friendships fading. Wealth bought freedom, but also isolation. Only 10 people truly know Andy. Every one of them earned that trust over years. Andy rarely gives interviews. Mystery, he says, creates leverage. Every Christmas, he returns home, donating to his mother's old library quietly. When markets dipped, Andy pivoted to AI and renewable energy before the wave hit. He mentors entrepreneurs who failed at least once. If you've never been hit, you can't take the punches. His empire is built to outlive him. Layers of companies, trusts, and diversified assets. When attacked, Andy never responds directly. He wins by making results louder than rumors. In private, Andy is introverted, obsessed with history, and avoids large crowds. His foundation will give disadvantaged youth mentorship and capital, the help he never had. Thoughtful. The real victory, Andy says, isn't having billions. It's knowing I could lose it all and build it again. Wealth fades, skills stay. Just when Andy believed his empire was unshakable, the world shifted. A sudden global economic downturn sent markets spiraling. Entire industries collapsed overnight. Even billionaires weren't immune. In a single week, $400 million vanished from his portfolio. Andy didn't panic. He moved into defense mode, cutting costs in non-essential divisions, freezing risky acquisitions, and shifting capital to safe havens like gold and stable real estate. During the downturn, competitors saw blood in the water. Some tried to acquire his companies at fire sale prices. Andy fought back, quietly buying up his own shares before they could. Then came a deeper blow. One of his trusted executives was caught leaking sensitive information to a rival right now. So you never miss another story like this. And drop a comment with the word "excited empire" if you want me to break down the exact steps Andy used to build his fortune from nothing. So maybe one day I'll be telling your story here.